Wait, oh, I see it. All righty. So, welcome everybody. So glad that y'all are here tonight for our kind of, I guess, our first official relay team meeting to get started for 2021. So excited about that. Um, just wanted to start out and one little small little icebreaker, make sure everybody knows everybody. Or can you give us a reason why you relay? So I don't know if y'all all want to jump in at once, take how y'all want to do this. So or if you want me to call you out, whichever.
Just call down the list.
Okay, hold on. Let me put my list back up. All right. So the first one on the list is Jamie. Under me, which I'll go last, but Jamie, you're number one.
Yeah, because the host function.
The host.
I've had loads of family and friends that have been affected by cancer. My most recent is my coworker. She's 42 years old. She just had a double mistake. Going to be facing more surgery, chemo, and radiation. So this year it's just really hitting me hard. She's having some issues from her surgery too, but she's got two little boys. She's got a wonderful husband, and it doesn't matter who you are, what age you are, nothing. Cancer hits every age, gender, it doesn't matter. And so for me, if what I can do can help just one person with a service or funding for the research for a breakthrough, I'm all in.
All right. The next person on the list is Bob.
I mean, swallow that one. I'm sorry. My wife's mother died of cancer, and then 6 months later, I got diagnosed. They figured I was misdiagnosed for about 7 years. I actually wound up with a softball-sized tumor on my heart, another one behind my lung. Had a lot of friends and family, helped me through it a lot. I had 8 different types of chemo and then a lot of radiation. I now have what they call radiation pneumonitis, which is like fibrosis in my lungs. But I'm here to complain about it. People have helped me through the years, and I'm just here to, give back. And paid for it.
Wow. Okay. John, you're next on the list.
Okay. Well, I am going to deviate a tiny bit then because I don't think everyone knows me yet. So I'm John from the American Cancer Society. I am your new staff partner. With all the COVID craziness that has hit us, ACS has shrunk quite a bit as an organization. I used to be the senior manager, so I have been out to your event multiple times. So, most of the ELT probably would have seen me at that point, but not all the teams. So some of you all might be familiar with me. If you're not, hello. So excited to be working with you all. Definitely had a team, just to kind of paint a quick picture of like staff changes with ACS. We had, I used to manage a team of 6 out of our Raleigh office. There's only 2 of us left now. So we're really rethinking the way we relay and the way we support communities. So a lot of our events are moving to like a remote support team where they don't have someone in the community with them. But because you guys are obviously so amazing, and you have like a incredible leadership team, your fundraising is strong, you have great teams, and you're close enough to Raleigh, we wanted to definitely keep you guys supported fully by in-person staff. So I'll be your in-person staff. So I'll be working with you guys and our newly merged Triangle Relay for Life event, which is actually taking 4 events into one. So it's going to hopefully be one of our biggest relays in the state once we get it up and running. But yeah, so very excited to be here with you all tonight. And even at the end, I'll definitely hang out and answer questions if you all have anything that you want to just throw at me, just random stuff too. So John, I'm definitely excited to be here. Been relaying as a volunteer before I joined staff as well. And my brother's battle with cancer is what brought me into relay. So I've been relaying for him and now for my mom and my grandmother as well. And thankfully they're all 3 surviving and thriving today, which is a pretty amazing story because I feel like a lot of us have stories of those that we've lost. But I'm very, very blessed to have 3 survivors in my family that I get to walk for at relay.
Awesome. Miss Susan.
Hi.
Hello.
We started our relay team in 2000 when shortly after our son was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. He is a 21-year survivor now, and he is a Band-Aider. We've had just about everybody in my immediate family now has had some type of cancer, and several church members and close friends, lots more since then. Our team just continues to do one more day, one more dollar, because they all count.
Mhm.
So that's why we relay.
Awesome. Miss Amy.
Okay, sorry, I had you muted. I'm eating and folding laundry, which is why there's no video. But the reason I relay, I started with the fire department. I was the president for the Ladies Auxiliary, and we were looking for something to do as a community project. So we jumped in and we did relay, and that was a year we didn't know anything about it. We raised a little bit of money. I went to the big event, tracked down someone to try to just give money to, and didn't realize it just quite didn't work that way. But we did finally get our money turned in that night and learned sort of how relay was. So we did it for the next year and went to the meetings and all that. And we did that for 2 years. And then we branched out into our own as kind of a family and friends, because everyone has someone that has been affected by cancer. I lost my grandfather and my grandmother. And my biggest for these last few years is my husband's father battled with cancer for about 4 years, but he didn't have a bad 4 years. He had a bad 2 weeks, and a drug that ACS funded and did the research for is what kept him here for 4 years. So we love relay. We love Johnston County. I'm actually a Harnett County girl. I live in Harnett County, but we were welcomed in Johnston County very much so, and we love it. And two of our team members, one of our team members is a 3-time cancer survivor. And then one of them, Miss Tina, which is on ELT, she is a breast cancer survivor. So we have some team members that we really relay for.
Awesome.
Amy, what fire department were you with, out of curiosity?
I was with West Johnston Fire Department. But we've kind of stepped away because I was doing a lot with the Ladies Auxiliary, and I cooked down there and did a lot, and we just kind of stepped away from that so I could put more time into relay.
Thank you for both.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, this is funny because my list is changing orders as people move around. So Dale and Cindy.
I don't know how this mute button works. I've actually been relaying with Johnston County since relay started in Johnston County. Started out on a team, moved to our local fire department team. We used to be the most noise-making, loudest, obnoxious team there, and we played all night.
Mhm.
And the reason I relay is I've had multiple family and friends diagnosed with cancer, and 2 years ago I lost the love of my life in 13 days. So that's why I'm here.
Is Cindy with you?
She's not talking.
Well, okay. Are you sure, Cindy? Just shaking her head, yes.
She's not doing anything.
I'm good.
Okay. All right. Joy. I think you're here. Joy.
Hey,
Hey.
so what are we supposed to be doing? I tuned in late.
Introducing yourself and why you relay.
Oh, okay. I started relaying many years ago, and I lost both parents within 18 months to cancer. So that's how I got started. So I continue to relay for lots of friends and family.
Okay. Awesome. Kara.
Well, I relay for my grandfather. I relay for a very close friend of mine that's actually a survivor. And then my heart is with kids, and I have had kids that have cancer. So that's why we've really started. We actually have 2 kids this year that are cancer survivors. And that's really my main reason for relaying.
So glad you are here. Miss Linda, there you are. It says Linda's iPhone. So tell us why you relay.
Yeah, I'm having severe internet issues at home. Well, I've lost both my grandmothers to breast cancer, my dad to kidney cancer, my mom to breast cancer, my sister-in-law to breast cancer. I'm a cervical cancer survivor. My mother-in-law is battling breast cancer for the 2nd time now. So that's no better reason than that.
You're right. You are right. Welcome. Michelle. Wait, unmute yourself.
All right, sorry about that.
There you go.
I relay because I lost my mom 34 years ago of cancer, and that was actually before the Johnston County Relay for Life had started. But shortly after mom passed, I was a teenager, but I've been relaying pretty much since relay started, with minus a couple of years. But since then, I have lost a grandfather, my aunt, several others, and right now I have a cousin that was diagnosed since Christmas that has started with treatments, and also I've had some very good close friends that have been have passed away with cancer, but also a recent one that was diagnosed
Uh-oh.
with breast cancer. That is just trying to, one day we'll hear that word that we've got a cure for cancer.
I think that's one of the things we are all praying for. Miss Phyllis.
My name's Phyllis Thornton. I have been relaying for about 20 plus years, ever since it started. My mother, Barbara Thornton, is a 37-year breast cancer survivor. My dad is a 20-year prostate cancer survivor, and my brother is a 5-year prostate cancer survivor. So when I go to get a checkup, we just are on pins and needles, because I'm the only one in my immediate family. I have family members I have lost to cancer. I have family members and friends that have battled it and are still battling it. And I also have a friend that was just diagnosed with ovarian cancer about 3 weeks ago. And she's now in treatment. See, it's everywhere. And I'm ready for it to be gone.
Me too. Me too. All right. how about Miss Sam? Samantha, I saw you.
I think she's muted.
There
Okay,
you are.
You're
good
muted.
now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. So I started relaying 14 years ago because someone asked me. I was the vice president of our women's club, and so someone came and asked. Became team captain, and then basically been volunteering for the last 13 years, mostly on the West Coast. I continue to relay for my grandmother, my father-in-law, two of my best girlfriends on the West Coast that are both breast cancer survivors. And so my daughters never have to hear the words "you have cancer." So
Very good. Tina.
Well, as you heard from Amy, I was there when we started our team at West Johnston Fire Department. And basically next month I will be 5 years cancer free of breast cancer.
Good for you.
Yay.
And so I started relaying to help find a cure for any kind of cancer, not necessarily one particular kind, but all kinds. And hopefully one day that will happen.
Yes, it is going to happen. It's got to. I think that's everybody on my list. Is that all of y'all? Did I get everybody? Like I said, my list started jumping around. All right, so I'm kind of like Sam. I got started relaying because the company I worked for was relaying, and that's how it kind of all started, even though my grandfather had passed away from cancer in the 70s. We really didn't talk about it a whole lot. But my father he's a survivor of prostate and skin cancer. So I relay for him. And I relay for myself as well, as I've had issues with cervical cancer too. And then many friends lost a super sweet person in my life that had been in my life all of my life, actually, from elementary school on, and lost her a couple of years ago. Very tough for me at that time, but I relay too, so that nobody ever has to hear those words again. Because, like a lot of y'all have said, one day that $1 that somebody's going to give us is going to push us over the edge, and we're going to find that cure. So I believe that, and so that's why I'm here. So anybody else have anything they want to add? Okay, so yes.
Just real quick, it's Linda. One of my team members, I don't know if y'all remember her, April Jackson. It's one of my nieces. She is currently at Duke right now. She has just undergone her second round to get her bone marrow transplant. She's actually been in the hospital since October, I think. So yeah, everybody just kind of keep remembering her and everything.
Yeah,
I'm hoping she's out, be ready to hit up the team and ready to do so.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. So just to give you some general information too, right now, our event tentative date for in person, which is what we're going to hope for, is going to be July the 16th. That is a Friday night, and probably more than likely that same time frame we've always done on a Friday night, roughly around 5 to midnight. That's kind of the where we're looking. And John can give us a little more. ACS has really kept us all informed on what they're thinking, and so he did tell the ELT that they're hoping by middle of the year, with the vaccines and anything we all follow the rules and regulations that we're supposed to, that they should allow us to have an in-person event. That's correct, right, John?
Yeah, so we've really made a kind of across ACS wide, all of our events, we're not having any in-person events through the first half of the year. So basically through, the June timeframe. There's a couple events that might happen late June with special approval. But we thought it was best to go ahead and just push back to July for a better chance that we're all able to actually see each other in person, because we know there's a lot of work to be done between now and then. We've now have 3 vaccines out, which is great. But we've got to get folks getting the vaccines. We've got to get that, what we talked about earlier is a little bit herd immunity, right? So we can all get back to some semblance of a normal life. But be prepared, I will say, like, we don't know what's going to happen. We all, I feel like we're all already flexible, but continue to be flexible with us. If something has to shift with that July event, and it may not be a different date, but it may be like hours changing, or, what safety precautions we need to put in, or anything like that. So just be flexible with us. But the big thing right now is we want to just get rolling with relay as best we can where we are now, and move on from there.
Our theme is the one that we announced at our drive-through luminaria ceremony that we had before at the end of 2020. So that theme is cruising towards a cure. So with that, there's a lot of options we can use with that. If for some reason we were unable to be in person, we could have a cruise through luminaria ceremony, a cruise through survivor event, that kind of thing. So that kind of plays into, the possibility if we still had to be something more virtual or less, more social distanced. Right now, I was going to say we had 19 teams, but we actually have 20. Is that correct? Yesterday we had 19. We have 20 teams registered at this time, which is awesome. And we could say about 14 of you are on this call. So that's even pretty good too. If there's about 14 of us here, and I know Dale and Cindy are on the same team, and so are Tina, and so we got about 12 are on the same team. But that's awesome to have that many. Our goal is 83. Correct? That's what we decided.
Yes, but I did want to say, Beth, we just literally, as you were saying, the numbers for the team. Yes. I just got an email that we just got another team.
Yay!
So 21
Woo! Guys. Yes. So awesome. Now I'm really psyched. So we have 21 teams in 2021 at the moment. And our goal is 83. So keep that in mind. If you have, friends that you normally sit with at the meetings and you've sat near them, give them a quick shout out if you haven't seen them or if they're not registered yet. And say, hey, go ahead and get registered for this year. Yesterday, we did have 43 participants too. So that number is going to be changed a little bit too, according with all of that, the new teams registration. And then did our money change from yesterday? I had our money at $5,945.68. I don't know if I can get my page to pull up quick enough.
So money is the same.
That's the same.
It's the same? Okay.
And participants went up to 45.
Yay.
So upward trend.
I know you have another 200 and something dollars coming from us.
Awesome.
Yay. Awesome.
Not the thousands we used to do in the bingo, but a couple $100, right?
Well, we're going to have to figure out how to do virtual bingos.
I know. Trust me, I've been thinking. I really have.
We're going to get it all figured out. That's awesome. That's exciting. We do have a goal of $135,000 this year. And as of today, we have 135 days to go. So if we raised $100 a day, we'd be there. But there's a little math for us. All we need is $100 a day for the next 135 days and we're good to go. So
I'm glad you're doing the math, Beth, at 7:36 at night instead of me. So thank you.
yeah, is that correct? Is that right though? I don't even know if that's right.
I'm
but-
saying it's right because I'm not doing math at this late at
I
night.
think it is, Beth, and I
Yes,
teach
it
first
is.
grade math, so,
Okay.
but I think it is.
Well, I learned with old math, so we're good.
I teach old math.
Yeah, woo. It's the only kind I know. So so I think we could do it. I mean, I think, this could be a really good year for us, and I think if we can get back to some normalcy, with things, even with distancing and mask wearing and all of that, I think that this could be a good year because people are kind of tired of being stuck at home, and they might be able to come out if we get a chance to and really support, as long as they know we're still here and we're still working. So um just be John and I know I've talked with other people too. Our big push will be on social media as we start to get in. So that's where the Zoom calls come in, the Facebook page. You'll see more and more posts are going to start hitting that, now that we're moving into the 2021. Instagram, John's been very instrumental in working with on our Instagram too. So if you follow us on Instagram, which it is, I can tell you, give me 1 second. It's kind of long. That's why, and I should have wrote it down.
No, you're good. I'm actually going to put it in the chat box. So
Yeah.
if you can open the chat, you'll see it, guys.
Yeah. You can go on there and follow our page. And when you go right on, the first challenge is right at the top of our Instagram. So we do have that. If you have not signed up for text messaging, do that too. The phone number for the text message is 69922, and it's RFL space JOHNS is what you put in when you send it. So the phone number is that 6992, and then you'll see when you put the message in, that's RFL space JOHNS, and that will get you the text messaging notifications that we're going to be trying to send out for meetings and different things as well. Right now, our meetings will be on Zoom. So if you look at the Facebook page, and I believe, John, did you put the meeting dates on the Instagram as well?
So yes, meeting dates are on Instagram. They're on Facebook. Keep in mind, we're trying to make sure we get that information out to everyone as easy as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be creating Facebook events for all of our meetings, which will have the link embedded in it. And if you subscribe to the text, you're going to get a text before every meeting with the link right there. So all you got to do is open your phone, click the Zoom link, and you're good. Make it as easy as possible, hopefully.
Right. Yeah, it's right now this is going to be the easiest way for us to try to communicate with all of y'all in this crazy time frame. So definitely watch your Facebook, Instagram, and the text messaging. So and John, you wanted to talk about Relay Connect. Do you want to do that now?
Sure. Jamie, can you make it possible for me to share my screen? And while you're doing that, Beth, why don't we just share about the challenge? Because if you saw the email today reminding you about this meeting, and if you looked at the bottom of it, it said, hey, for a sneak peek at the prizes, check out Instagram, because we just happened to throw it there first. But we're really excited. We're trying to find ways to make it fun for us to kind of get the ball rolling and moving forward. So we're doing a fun challenge. I've got some really cool relay prizes that you all likely haven't seen. We had ordered them like the fall of, goodness, 19, before Relay was really going. And then they got delivered during COVID. So they've been sitting in the office just waiting for us to be able to use them for something. So put together a little prize pack. It's got a cool like sticker that you can throw on a computer or laptop or whatever. A little cool Relay notebook, a shopping tote bag, I think a pen and a highlighter thing. I don't know, Beth, I'm not looking at the picture right now. But anyways.
It's got a koozie.
Oh, and a koozie, yep.
Yeah, bag,
There you go.
koozie. One of, what is it called? A computer sticker thing that you stick on the backside.
Yeah.
I know I have one of those, but I'm not sure where it's at right at the moment.
But so what we're going to do is the first step to get entered in a drawing to win the prize would be to get registered, right? So if you're here on the call and you're registered, you're already in for that. And then we want you to raise at least $10. So register, raise $10, and you're going to get entered in the drawing to win the prize. Now, as an extra bonus, we're going to give you an additional entry for every $10 you raise above the initial 10. So thinking about, we just got the sponsorship package ready. It just put it on the website tonight, so it's there for you all. I'll put a link in our chat in the meeting as well. But thinking about what I say, Beth, a $500 sponsor is an extra 50 entries into the drawing for the prize, right? So our sponsorship normally would be coming in right about now, because we would have started meetings in January and we would have been bringing in those sponsors. So this is the perfect time to go back and visit those sponsors. We know some businesses obviously are hard hit from COVID, but there's others that are just doing amazing right now. I know I still can't get into Chick-fil-A most days because the line's so wrapped around the building so many times. So just think about the businesses that are doing great, and definitely reach out to them, because there's a lot of folks that want to help right now. There's even tax incentives and things like that in more than usual for folks to be generous with nonprofits. So lots of great opportunities there. So we're going to do a prize package that'll be the random drawing for all those entries. And then we're also going to do an extra prize, which will be a little bit more special. And that's going to be for the top fundraiser across the month of March. So everything from March 1st to the end of March, whoever can raise the most money, I'm going to make it really special. I've got some real cool stuff in the office that you, like I said, you hadn't seen before. And we'll give that to the top fundraiser. And then if you can register, raise at least $10, you get entered in the drawing for the other prize. And you can see that on our Instagram page, and we'll be sharing it to Facebook shortly after the call. All right, well, let me share my screen real quick, because I realized that we've done some new things, and I'm not sure that everyone's seen them. So I know we're kind of running short on a call, but I wanted to just point you all to Relay Connect, and you can see the link here. It's just connect.relayforlife.org. If you Google Relay Connect, you're going to most likely find the page too. But this is our new home for everything Relay, and to help support you all in your efforts to support the American Cancer Society. So there's amazing stuff on here. You can get all the latest information from ACS. So if you remember back in February, we were doing that recruitment blitz. So all that stuff was in here. There's all sorts of resources, like anything that you've ever previously gotten at a team captain meeting, like a paper that we've printed and given to you with some idea. It almost guarantee you it's here on Relay Connect. Everything's over here. There's also links to the Facebook community. That's our new, we're trying to move, well, we used to have groups where you could chat and the team could share an idea, or you could ask a question and someone else across the country would answer that. All of that has been shifted over to our Facebook groups. So you can get connected to the Facebook groups right here. And then under resources, like especially fundraising ideas, there's a great thing about Facebook fundraising, which is huge right now. Like that's a great way for us to raise money while we're stuck at home. So I wanted to just show you really quick. And this is a live statistics across the country with Facebook fundraisers that are linked to Relay for Life pages. So if we were to look at North Carolina, you can see here that out of all the people currently registered for Relay for Life, about a little over 14% of them have connected a Facebook fundraiser through their Relay for Life dashboard. And they've collectively raised $21,000 already this Relay season. Some of that, if events launched last fall might include some of that. And the average donation is $40. So can't say enough about, like, take the time to get your Facebook fundraiser started. If you're a Facebook person, you do have to do that from your Relay website. So you need to log into your dashboard, and there's going to be a quick little link that says start a Facebook fundraiser. It's literally 30 seconds and you're all set up and you're ready to go. And anything that people donate through your Facebook fundraiser automatically shows up on your Relay website. So it's super easy. And then the other part on here, the fundraising ideas, there's a fundraising database. And this is absolutely incredible. So you can see there's just all sorts of stuff in here. It helps you think through things like, well, what's it going to cost to put on this event, things like that. And then I just wanted to highlight like the virtual online fundraising, because that's where most of us are at right now. We're not really out, doing our spaghetti dinners at church and those kind of things. So take a look at this when you have some time. It's absolutely amazing. You're going to find so many resources and tools here that are going to help you be successful and help us fund the research for that next cure. So I'll keep it short on that front. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer those, especially at the end of the call too, because I don't want to keep everyone too long.
Okay, so since we kind of talked about fundraisers, the other big thing is to please download or get that fundraising app on your phone if you can, because since there is no Raleigh office, it's the money is getting sent to Charlotte. So it could take a little longer sometimes for that to post, and you need to be aware that when you do, if you do send money to Charlotte, that you need to make sure it does have Johnston County Relay on it. And is there a code for that too, John, for them to put on the check, or just put Johnston County?
Yeah, there is a code, and you can find that on our Relay website. There's a whole little post on the newsfeed about turning in donations. And it will give you I think it's a 6-digit code. And that just helps us identify the event, because the reality is we closed our Raleigh office. All the mail for North Carolina and South Carolina are all going to Charlotte now. And sadly, like, our support staff got let go, but we have a few people in Charlotte that are processing all the mail that comes in. And they don't know what our events are locally. So we want to make sure that if you send anything in, make sure you have a team accounting sheet that says Relay for Life, Johnston County. Wouldn't hurt to put North Carolina on there too, because I'm sure there's a Johnston County somewhere in South Carolina. Mm-hmm. And then you can put that code that's on there. And like I said, it's on the website. I will put it in the chat as soon as I don't even have it memorized. I'll put it in the chat for you all too. But that just helps us make sure we get that coded right back to the correct event. And that's you also definitely tell us how you want the money posted on the website. So have the name and the dollar amount of who that's going to, especially if you're splitting up your fundraising among team members. What you put on the sheet is what we're going to post on the website. So
yeah, because there's also Johnston County, Tennessee. And we like them, but we don't want to share our money with them right now.
Exactly. We'll share the cures once we find them, but we want to
that's
keep our
right.
money.
We'll share the cures, but
share the cure. Yeah.
Definitely, like Beth said, I'll just harp on that a little bit more with the ACS fundraising app. I can't say enough about that app. If any of you do any mobile banking where you get a check and you process it on your phone with your bank, it's that simple. And you don't have to mail it in. You don't have to wait for Charlotte to get the mail. They're only checking it about twice a week anyways right now. And then by the time they actually get through all the donations, and then they send it to me, and then we're able to get it posted to the website, quite a long turnaround there. But if you have a check in your hand and you download the fundraising app, super simple. It walks you through. You can post that right away. The check gets put in there, and it automatically shows up right away on your Relay page. Okay. And if for some reason you're doing a check for someone else, you always have 3 options. You can put the money to your event, just as an event level donation. You can put it to yourself, or if you're part of a team, you can put it to your team. And if you're helping someone else that may not be good with mobile apps and donating money, help them, please. And then just send me an email and say, hey, John, I processed this $35 check for this person. It's on my name. Please shift it to them. I can do that. That's a quick and easy fix on my end. But I would much rather fix it than have to wait for someone to hang on to a check and try to mail it out, or wait for the next in-person meeting when we don't know when that's going to be. So use the app. If you need help, I'm here with a quick phone call. I can walk you through it really fast. Doesn't take us long at all. So I'll also put my phone number in the chat too.
Now, if they send stuff, does Dale have stuff so that if they sent checks to her, because some people get with her in 4 Oaks, if they were to do that, Dale, do you and John, do y'all have it so you can get checks to Charlotte if you have to?
Good question. I don't know what supplies she has right now, but they did just change the address on us, Dale. So I do need to get you the updated address labels for the FedEx. So when you send off checks, we mail them off FedEx. So I'll need to get you those updated ones. But yeah, and then let me know if there's anything else you need, because we'll send it at the same time.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, and on that, so now I just said FedEx, right? So you all know we send checks with FedEx. Well, how much does FedEx cost us? We pay a little bit less than you all do because we have a corporate account, but it still costs money, right? And that's money that's not finding a cure. Use the ACS fundraising app to process your checks. It's basically free. Okay. So I would much rather you call me and I walk you through it on the app than you wait and try to mail a check into Dale and then she's got to mail it off to get processed. So definitely will save us time and save us money. And that's more dollars going to find cures. So call me anytime.
Well, I just know that once Jackie gets registered and if she can, and she starts raising money, she's going to probably contact Dale because that's her go-to for dropping money. So I just want to make sure Dale has what she needs as well.
Yeah, I'll make Jackie happy. Don't worry about that.
Okay, that's all I asked, Dale.
She'll be on speed dial.
Yeah. Yes. So John, you did touch base on the sponsor packet that has been uploaded to the website too. So there are just some small changes to that and what people are going to get when they do sponsor us this year. There is a slight difference. There are going to be t-shirts this year, but they will not be like they have been in the past. We won't have that sponsor list on the back this year because that is an added expense. But once you have reached that Hope Club level, that shirt was going to be sent to you. So I don't know if John, you want to kind of expand on that a little bit, but that's the way ACS is going to do it. Last year, we didn't have any shirts. This year, at least, we're going to have a shirt. So
yeah, so we're super excited to be able to have relay shirts this year because you all know, like last year, it just wasn't possible with COVID and our reduced fundraising. We're obviously still in a spot where we're not likely going to raise as much this year as we would in a typical year because of COVID. So we try to make some changes that's going to make things doable and still allow you guys to have some of those key things that you love about relay, even if we can't do it like we have in other years. So I actually just got word, Beth, today that the Relay Rewards website should be ready to go for tomorrow. So fingers crossed. But that's how you're going to be able to get your t-shirts now. And part of the reason for that is, like I said, we're cost savings, and that's why we're not going to put the sponsors and have a specific relay of Johnston County on the back of the Hope Club shirts, because it's obviously very expensive to print all of those. And then, we always end up printing more than we actually need, which wastes money, which isn't good. And then the reality of a lot of our events, like I told you before at the beginning of the call, are remote supported now. So they don't have a staff person in the community at all of our events. So distribution of shirts makes it more difficult when we don't have staff everywhere. So that's why they've chosen to go to this new program where you're going to be able to go in to Relay Connect. Once you've raised your $100, you're going to be able to use your relay points. You're going to get your shirt and you're going to order the size you want. So you don't have to worry about us giving you the wrong size. And you're going to tell them, ship it straight to your house, and you're going to have your Hope Club shirt. Just that easy. And then the other t-shirts from team captain to leadership team to survivors are going to be available on the website for purchase. We're not making money off these shirts. It's going to be basically at cost. So we just need to cover the cost of printing the shirts and the shipping, but you'll be able to get all of those shirts whenever you want them right through the Relay Connect website, or not Relay Connect, goodness, Relay Rewards, sorry. Too many things going on in my head right now. So it is a big change for the shirts, but that's one thing we want to make sure when you have the sponsor packet, which I just put in the chat, when you're going to talk to the sponsors, please look at the packet before you talk to them, so you're not promising them something we're not delivering, which would be, they're not going to be on event shirts this year. And we'll, revisit that next year once we kind of get out of this mess and figure out where we can go from there. So I know that was a lot of information. I will expect more info to follow as I get more details, because of the prices of the shirts and things like that I don't have yet. But as soon as we get that information, we will send it out with emails. But any questions that I can help answer right now? Okay, I'll give you, yeah, like I said, we'll give you more information when we have it. The emails, I've been told, if you already have raised $100 and you have $100 on your name, not on your team specifically, but it has to be like you specifically raised that $100, you may actually start getting those emails in the next 2 weeks about redeeming your Hope Club shirts. So I'd be really curious if you get that email. I'd love to know. So I could say, hey, look, Johnston County is starting to get those emails. And then we can expect them probably across the area as well. So yeah, that's
Please,
it for shirts.
and please know that the ELT has discussed a lot of different ways for us to honor those sponsors and to make sure that those sponsors do get some much needed kudos for what they do and are doing. So don't be afraid to ask for whatever you normally ask for, because we're going to make sure that they're going to get their recognition in some way, shape, or form at the event or somehow. So we've kind of talked, we really did talk about that in length that are on our Zoom call. So sponsors will be recognized for what they contribute. So just know that they will be recognized for that.
Yeah, and one quick note on that too, like one of the ways we can recognize our partners in the community is through our social media pages. And that's a great visibility for them because it's seen by folks across the county and beyond. But our visibility of our posts are going to be greater the more people comment on them and then share them on their pages. So just keep that in mind, especially as Beth and I are giving shout outs to teams as they register and stuff like that. Like, please go ahead and like those posts, add a congratulations in there, or if we share something good someone's done, help us out with that because it's going to give more visibility to those posts. And when we go back to those sponsors kind of at the end of the year and we say, hey, guess what? Like, here's all the different things we did for you. And we, shared this thank you. We shared this story about maybe someone in your company that was fighting cancer. Like, and look how many people saw it, and that makes a big difference. And that's what they want to see. Because the reality is if they had that one sign at the event, I mean, how many people remember that specific sign, right? But maybe that social media post gets seen quicker by more people across the county. So the more folks that like our page and the more of you that comment and share those posts is going to amplify that message so much further. So please help us out on that front as well.
Yeah. And remember, more than just the thumbs up, the algorithm or algorithms on Facebook are kind of crazy. So yeah, the comment, the hearts, the whatever, definitely gets things moving a whole lot faster and pushes things to the top. So just kind of keep that in mind. Well, it's right about 8 o'clock. Is there any questions or concerns or thoughts from any of y'all? How do you like these Zoom calls? What are you thinking? I'm thinking my hair's sticking up funny.
Mine kind of got a little long.
Yeah, you got a couple out there too, Bob. I see it. Y'all didn't get to see my cat tonight. Usually he walks across the screen on the ELT calls. So, but is there any questions or concerns or thoughts or anything you want to share that you think we could do or do differently to help y'all out? Everybody's quiet.
Because you're doing everything right, Beth. So
Oh, I don't know about that.
that's my common excuse when I say something. There's no questions. It's like, oh, I was just so perfect. There's no
Yeah.
questions because I explained it so well. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the
We
links
try.
out on the chat, are you gonna send them on an email too? Because
Yeah, we will do a nice email recap afterwards with all this information for everyone. And
And
then
the
of course,
video link.
Yeah.
send out the video as well.
Pick up the little one. Pick up the little one, bring her here. Pick up the little one, bring her here.
All right. So I guess if we really don't have, John, I think you and I kind of talked about everything that we talking about. So, if nobody has anything else, I think we're probably finished for this
Here,
evening.
Beth, you want to feel better?
Oh, there we go. My cat's not quite that big.
That's
Like
my
no-
little one. My other pony is about 8 months old and about 80 pounds.
Oh wow.
Woo.
Oh.
Wow.
No Zoom call is complete without a pet.
Without a pet, you're right. I was gonna say he's come in here. It's really odd. He's come in the room tonight, but he has not jumped on the
Hasn't come
table,
up. Okay,
which is awesome.
my
Wow.
cat's
okay, good.
eating if you want to. Please.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
That's marmalade.
Not that any of them are spoiled, that's for sure, right?
Yeah. Yeah. One, I think they're all 100% spoiled, actually.
No
Bob.
doubt.
Yeah, no doubt.
Them,
Oh.
yes.
My cat's definitely upstairs right now doing story time with my daughter and my wife because she will never miss story time.
Oh,
I think
that's
she's
sweet.
jealous of the attention my daughter gets from my
Yeah.
wife. So
Yeah. Wow. Well, if nobody has anything else, I think we're finished for tonight. If y'all noticed when you saw the list, if you looked on Facebook and the list of calls, as of right now, all team captain meetings are on the first Thursday of every month. So that was kind of we did that until we start having possibly a second meeting. They're all going to be that first Thursday. So that we thought we'd try to make it a little easier. And they'll be at 7, and right now they'll be with Zoom. So and we'll put those notices out on Facebook, those events. So
If anybody go to Town and Country on 210 over there, the hardware store.
I haven't been there. No.
Oh, okay. One of the gentlemen that works there has cancer and he's not doing well at all.
Which
Oh,
one?
wow.
Which
Ralph,
one?
the black gentleman.
Okay. Yeah, I go there quite often.
Yeah, he's not doing good at all.
Okay.
So
Well, I'll put
he
him on
had
my prayer list.
a piece of his rib removed a while back. He was doing good, and now he's falling pretty hard. So
Mm.
just keep him in your prayers and thoughts.
All righty.
Could we, is there a way we could maybe do a Google Doc or something of our prayer request?
I'm
Because I
sorry.
know
say
we
that again?
normally do those on, we
Right.
normally do those, at the end of the meeting. Is there some way we could do something where we could make a document where we could, have a prayer request?
Mm-hmm. I think we could.
I mean, I don't mind doing that if you can share, I could share it with you, Beth, and then
Right.
you could share it with everyone.
Okay.
yeah, and as long as I get the link to it, I can share it out through the website emails too.
All right. Do you have like a email address, John?
Yes,
Okay.
it is just, if you can see my name in the window,
I
right?
can.
So it's just jon.charest, my last name, and then @cancer.org.
Okay.
And I just put that in the chat too. So yeah.
Okay.
And I will say, as far as any other updates or things that you all want to out to the wider audience, you can obviously get that to me or someone on the leadership team, because as we get fundraisers planned and things like that, we want to make sure we're sharing those as well. So just anything you want to go out, definitely get it to, leadership team or myself, and we'll help you all out with that.
I was gonna say, I didn't ask, does anybody have any fundraisers at this point? Are you
I was
doing?
actually gonna stay on to kind of, if y'all wouldn't help me kind of come up with some,
Okay,
because I mean, we can't do anything like I normally do.
right,
And I don't know, I feel like it's, parents are trying to keep their head above water. I
mhm,
mean, I think we're back to normal somewhat, but we don't know that.
right.
And I just don't want to do too much. So,
The Relay Connect had a lot of nice virtual options.
okay.
If you want to look through there, they had a lot of virtual options.
I will.
Kara, could you do your wax museum virtually?
Well, we did last year.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, it was a little difficult.
Uh-huh.
But we'll be in the classroom this year, so we could do it. We would just do it virtually there. Now, we did do our gingerbread market virtually, but we did raise some money, just nothing like we normally raise.
Right.
But I mean, I think since we're in the classroom, we could. It's just, it's just a lot on, a lot more, I guess, on some teachers, and I don't know. Some are willing, some we might have to push.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because it has been a very difficult year. Yeah. The hardest, the hardest time. I mean, I've been teaching for 25 years, and this has definitely been the hardest. Right. But so I just want to come up with something simple and that we can kind of maybe do and get everybody excited about it. I just know it can't be what we normally do, and it makes me sad, but it can't be quite yet.
I think we could still figure out a way to do Luminaria, and maybe you could have a drive-through Luminaria service as your relay recess, like you used to do at the school, like one evening possibly. Yeah. Because you could still social distance with that. When we did the drive-through one, we used glow sticks. But our lighting wasn't really good at the school either. So we had to use, actually Amy found, we used little glow tubes, and we had to put a few in the bag for them to really show up. But that could possibly be an option. Yeah. For y'all. But I think even if the kids decorated the bag and we had it out, when they drive through carpool. Yeah. I mean, even if they weren't lit up. Right. Because when we did relay recess and the one around our track, they weren't lit up. Right. You're right. Because that was during the day. So, I mean, I think I'm gonna figure out talk to, but I just know they're kind of wary because it's been so rough on the parents this year to ask of anything, but I'll talk to them, because that could be something easy if we could, I'll buy the white bags for anybody that wants to participate, certainly. And well, we have some bags, I think. Joy, don't we have some bags?
Yes, we have bags. So that's not an issue at all.
Okay. I just know, like this year, we have Drew came back to our school, who is a cancer survivor. His mom actually works at our school now. And then we still have Cynthia. And then we have a couple of more. One that just returned. Actually, I got the message while I was on the meeting. He actually returned virtually to our school, and he's a kidney cancer survivor. So we have a lot of kids. So I know we did a fundraiser for child cancer. There was something going on in Johnston County. But it was not really a fundraiser. We just kind of did some activities with it, but I'll certainly talk to to
Well,
everybody.
yeah.
And maybe next year I'll really, maybe we'll have the same superintendent next year. And I can really get on the superintendents and talk to all the schools and get all of our schools into relay.
Right.
Just been kind of rough.
Yeah.
We're running into a problem. We haven't been to church since COVID because I am just too susceptible with my lungs. So it's like really hard to figure out what we're going to do. And our church keeps growing. So I'm thinking half the church doesn't even know who we are.
Right.
Yeah. So we're bouncing some ideas back and forth here.
Yeah, and Kara, I was going to say, like with schools, I think like the luminaries obviously is a great way to do it, and it could almost be like art project kind of thing where
Yes,
like
that's what
everyone
we've
takes
done
a
in the
bag home.
past.
Yeah.
Hello.
And then just thinking like if you guys are returning to the school, remember we like the relay feet that can like walk down hallways and up and down doorways and stuff like that. Like those are like simple. We still have some. I have to look back and see what I have in the office because they've actually discontinued those, but I still have some.
What about cupcakes?
Yeah, I think we have some cupcakes too. But cupcakes and feet are like the two things that aren't offered anymore.
Right.
Like we don't produce them anymore. So I can look for some of those if you think that would help.
And I will talk to our superintendent. It like, I don't get rules and regulations change a little bit depending. Sometimes we can kind of earn money and teachers can handle it because I know when we did a water bottle and they collected dimes, that raised so much money. And I mean, any teacher is willing to get their, I had a pie in the face not too long ago for something my kids did. I think any teacher is willing for that. And the kids, they eat that up.
Yeah.
So, I will talk to him about kind of seeing what we can do, raising the money. Because the dimes, I mean, you can bring in a dime. Anybody can bring in a dime,
Right.
So,
well, and pennyworth too. I don't know.
That's what our middle school has done in the past. So, but yeah, I'll kind of come up with some things now that we're back 4 days at least. But I think we're going to stay back. I mean, I think we're here. So.
Yeah.
Kara, I missed the last few minutes of what you were saying. My internet went out. Did you say that you were going to talk to Dr. Bracy?
I am going to talk to Dr. Bracy. That's actually on my to-do list now that we're kind of back in and getting back, just to kind of see what he'll let us, because I know it's different.
Have you been
guidelines, but we had gone to a principals meeting and talked to all the principals. That was about 2 years ago.
Right.
But yeah, we have a new one.
Hopefully, I mean, I don't know if your school has shared it, but ours shared it. And then I checked with accounts payable today, and I was under the impression that Dr. Bracy was pushing Lymphoma Society that started first. So is your school doing that now?
Yeah, we're doing a couple of other ones, but
I was just wondering, I mean, because at first I was given the impression, or I was told he was telling us we had to do that, but I'm thinking he did not after what I found out today, because accounts payable did not know anything about it. And I felt like if it was something that he was pushing, it would have been something approved through accounts payable. So I think you being able to reach out to him would be a good thing.
Yeah,
maybe.
I will. I probably still have my email from all the other superintendents we've had lately.
Yeah. So.
Right.
Yeah. And I will say too, we have an incredible supporter, Dr. Edmonds, who's leads our superintendents versus cancer program. So if you want me to try to ask her to reach out to your superintendent, just get me some good contact info.
Okay.
And I'll ask her to do that. And she was the superintendent in Elizabeth City Schools. And now she's pretty shortly going to be taking a new position with North Carolina, like the state, on a higher level. So she's going to be a great advocate for us in schools. So if I can get her to reach out, and she's a 2-time cancer survivor. And if you happen to watch the National Relay for Life kickoff, Dr. Edmonds is in that, and she's interviewing a survivor.
Okay.
And she's absolutely incredible. And I can definitely ask her to reach out directly to your superintendent if there's, give good contact info and what you'd like us to push, and I'll see what we can do.
Okay. Well, thank you, John.
Our team is meeting on Sunday, and last year we were going to do a fishing tournament and of course everything. So we are looking to go forward with our fishing tournament because I think that's something we can do outside. We're going to do it back out at the pond at Lazy O, and if you've been out there, it's huge. So there's plenty of room for social distancing. So we are meeting Sunday and going to talk and go forward with that because, we have to get the worms because Christy gets them and she raises the worms to save us money. And then we've kind of been talking about maybe trying to do some online, like where we do our bingo baskets at bingo, but instead of, having the bingo, doing like an online auction for them. So we are meeting on Sunday to try and get some fundraisers set up for our team.
Yeah, I love the idea of fishing tournaments too, because that's we normally have a fishing tournament put on by the NC State Bass Pack fishing team, Jamie, for our Wolfpack fans out there. But that didn't happen last fall, so I'm really hoping that students, are able to put that on for us this year. But yeah, I think that's a great way that folks can social distance and still be outside and have some fun. So that's awesome.
Yep, we're excited.
Phyllis,
can
are
you
y'all
follow up?
doing luminaries for your Survivor Sunday this week?
What we're doing, since we were not for sure about everything and where to send the money and all, we are using last year's luminaries for this Sunday. And then I'm gonna do like a special offering.
Okay.
For that Sunday, either this Sunday or for the next.
Mm-hmm.
But because I have to run that by the board.
Right.
But we decided to go on ahead and use last year's luminaries.
Okay.
Until we found out exactly what was going to take place. I have an old income manager at my house that she's real funny about making sure her money goes where it's supposed to be.
Oh, okay. All right.
And so when we found out we had to send it to Charlotte, she was like, "Oh, no." So that's kind of where we're at. And last year we had planned to have the parade of tables, and I don't know if we could do one of those outside social distancing or not. We might have to do like sell a place at the table and not do a no-show of a parade of tables somehow or another.
Well, I will say that Maryland is trying to figure that out at their church too.
Okay.
Because I think right now, what she told me the other day is they are back at church, but they're doing their service in their fellowship hall because of the size. So, but she's not sure either. So they're actually thinking of trying to figure out how to do something virtually as well.
Oh, okay.
But she said they haven't gotten all the particulars kind of worked out just yet.
I've got to talk with Pat and with one of the other ladies to see what they want to do, if they want to try to have one outside and have us spread out, or if they want to do something like a no bake sale, or do something along that lines with the parade of tables.
We will get it figured out. We're going to raise some money. We're going to make our goal this year. I'm just
$100 a
gonna
day.
put it out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna I was not real sure about how everything was gonna happen, and then she's done it for so many years from the beginning to now, and she was like, I just want to make sure that Johnston County gets the credit for their money. And I think she has chased Johnston County's money to Tennessee and different states that have a Johnston County in it since she has been a supervisor and an income manager and everything, to that point that she was like, I need to know that money's going where it needs to go.
Right.
And
Right.
so,
And that could be one of those cases where just make sure get it straight to Dale.
okay.
Right.
And they know they're turning it into someone locally right there.
Yeah.
And then Dale can either use the app to process it and get it posted straight to the team so that she sees it, or send it to off to get processed as well. So yeah, either anything we can do there to help. It's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, and one thing too, I wanted to share a great number. I just was looking this up for another meeting. But currently in North Carolina, we're funding just over $12 million in research. And a lot of that is going to Duke and UNC here in the Triangle. So that's a great number to talk about when you're out talking to sponsors and asking people to do some donations and things. Say, hey, listen, like the American Cancer Society funds more research in North Carolina than we raise in North Carolina. So when they're talking about, where's my money going, that kind of thing, like more than we're even raising is going into research right here in North Carolina. And that means money raised outside of our state is helping us out because we have such incredible researchers right here. So, anytime like you can go to cancer.org, look at research, you can see all the grants, who's got it, how much money they're getting, all that information is right there. It's available to the public. But I'm always happy to help you out with that too. If you want, maybe you want to talk about a specific researcher and some certain things they're doing. There's always potential for that. Good example is we had a researcher at UNC Chapel Hill who's researching around a social app to help childhood cancer folks get connected and be able to have like peers that they can talk to about their cancer journey, because they're stuck going through treatment without parents sitting next to them right now because they weren't allowed in the treatment centers. Now that may be changing, but that, this was a little bit a while ago. And she joined us for Hockey Fights Cancer and did a podcast with the Carolina Hurricanes. So things like that, where we've got like these interview snippets with some of these researchers that we can always share as well. So anything I can do from my end to help you guys make the case for why it's so important.
John, can you touch on, say for instance, my cousin that was just diagnosed with lymphoma, she's always been a donator to Relay for Life for many years, and she called the helpline, and of course they're readily available to talk to her about support and things in that nature, but it's hard to, she's brought this up to me in the last week or two, so that's why I'm bringing it up. It's hard when they have actually reached for assistance, even if it would be a wig or one of their medications, and they're automatically being told that they don't help with things like that. How should we approach that kind of, I guess, negativity that is coming back from people that are trying to get some help?
Yeah, and I think there are certain things that ACS, because of COVID, doesn't do that we used to do. So one of those would be our WIG program. That actually got kind of discontinued, and we still have a great partner, which is TLC. It's like Tender Loving Care website, where folks can go get really low cost wigs and things like that they can order through that catalog or that website. But ACS, yeah, we're not providing like free wigs to folks anymore. What we found was, like especially in our Raleigh office, when we closed our office due to COVID, we had a large stock of wigs and people just weren't requesting them as often as they used to. So that was not cost effective for us to go purchase wigs when people weren't asking for them enough. But of course, then you run into the problem when you don't do it, that someone wants it and we don't have it. So that's definitely an issue. But I think they did. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. They did refer her to that organization, the TLC, but like Johnston County has a wig store, and they were actually cheaper at the wig store versus the American Cancer Society. So that was really kind of disheartening to her. She was just like, I've done all these donations all my life, and then I'm asking for help and can't get anything.
Yeah, and it's really just, it's a focused effort of where we're going to target all of the money that you guys raise and where we think it's going to do the most good,
Right.
and help people survive cancer. So that's the whole point of what we're doing, is trying to save lives. And that's one of the reasons. The other reasons why the wig program went away, because while wigs are great, it's not saving a life.
Exactly.
We would rather fund a research grant that's going to find a cure, so make someone a survivor, than provide a wig. And I know that's a tough thing to talk about with folks when they want help. And then the common thing that I do get is when people will call in and they'll ask for, they want financial assistance to help pay for their medical bill or maybe their prescription or something like that. And that's, again, a case of just something that's outside the scope of our mission. Okay. And that's really important to understand when you're talking to folks is you wouldn't go to, trying to think of a good case here. You wouldn't ask a hardware store for groceries because they don't provide groceries, right? You go to a grocery store for groceries, you go to a hardware store for hardware stuff, right? So there are organizations out there that help people pay medical bills and things like that, but that's not what the American Cancer Society does, because we would rather fund the research and find the cure that helps millions of people survive their cancer than take that money and provide one person that medication or that medical bill expense. Does that make sense?
I think so. I think that kind of explains a little bit more that our main focus, our mission is to find the cure for the research, not necessarily help with other things. And that's and that's why I wanted to ask, so that maybe you could explain it, not just for me, but for all of us.
Yeah. And the things you can talk about, I will say, is, the 800 number is phenomenal. And the things that are great about that is thinking about someone who just maybe today, heard the word you have cancer. And they're trying to soak in that information when they're at the doctor's office. But reality is it's not going to really soak in until later when they're home, and they're going to have a lot of questions floating through their mind. And some of you probably know exactly what I'm talking about because you've been there. And you're like worried, you're stressed, you're anxious, and you've got all these questions you need to ask, but your doctor's no longer there because it's after hours. Our 800 number is always open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We don't take a holiday. We're always there. And that source of information is so comforting for folks that they have someone they can talk to. And sometimes people just call us, honestly, at like 3 a.m. because they just have no one else to talk to. They don't have any families close by. There's no one else there, and they just can't sleep. And they call the American Cancer Society, and we're there for them. And that means so much to so many people. And of course, there's things that people will want from us that we'll have to refer them out to someone else or say, sadly, we can't help you with that. But being there as the source of information for folks is so vital, especially with COVID, because we had a lot of folks having to make tough decisions. Do you go to your treatment center and risk potentially getting COVID to get your cancer treatment? Which is worse? Could something wait? Could one of those wait? And that's the problem we're running into now, is we have too many people that waited for their cancer treatment. So we're really trying to get people, that's the great thing about our hospital staff getting vaccinated. We can get our patients back in there. We can resume treatment, help create more survivors in the world. And then getting tested. I mean, that's the other thing too. Like, where a lot of us were talking about how, we're not going out too much, right? We're staying home, we're being careful. But if you're at a certain age where you need to be getting your certain tests, we really, like, ACS is really going to be pushing that hard this year. We've got to get folks tested, because we know the key to survival is early detection. If you're not getting tested, we don't find it till it's too late, your chance of survival is too slim. So it's definitely like, take the time, know what tests you've got to get. And that's all available on cancer.org. You can find absolutely everything there. I will say the big one, just because, it's March and this is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. The big thing is colonoscopy should begin in an average person at 45 now. It used to be 50. We changed that just about 2 years ago. We went back 5 years. So if you're, know anyone, a loved one that's 45 or older and they haven't got their colonoscopy, please talk to them about going and scheduling that with their doctor, because it's so important. There you go. See, And my dad, I like to use my dad's case here. So my dad was 52 when he got his first colonoscopy. He was 2 years late back then when we recommended the 50. And they were able to remove precancerous polyps from my dad. So we were fortunate 2 years late for his colonoscopy that it was only precancerous, but they prevented cancer because he got a test. And now that we know we need to do it sooner at 45, like it's even more important for folks to get in there. So, you know, think about that. If you've got someone that you can talk to, encourage them to get their test done. And we're really going to be pushing that hard through the rest of 2021 because too many people said, you know what, I'm not going to get tested last year. And we've got to make sure they get tested to know like we can find cancer early and help them survive. So I'll keep talking forever, guys. So any other questions? Sorry, we were
Thanks
way past the
thank you
meeting.
for your passion, John. Thank you for
Thank
that.
you all.
So yeah, I was gonna say any other questions? If not, I mean, we'll, you know, and you can reach out to John, you can reach out to me, you can reach out to anybody on ELT, the 800 number. We're here for you. You know, we'll listen, we can talk, we can come up with some things. Kara will be, I'm sure that if I know Amy, she's probably scoping Connect out right now. And I'll be on there too now that I've seen how new it looks and how refreshing it is. And I'll probably be on there trying to find some things to do for my team as well. So I think we'll all be able to share some ideas and maybe come up with some things, and we can shoot. If you see something and you know it's good and you heard somebody asking questions tonight, shoot them a phone call or a text, or, you know, if you need their information, let us know and we'll get it to you, and we'll see what we can come up with. So
yeah, I will say one idea I just had because we were just thinking about pets, right? Maybe we do some sort of pet contest. Get some people to, you know, pay some money to put your pet into the contest and then do some sort of, I don't know, fundraising challenge or something. Or we could even
Everybody
do like
could virtual vote.
yeah, virtually voting, maybe on like Facebook. We make an album of all our pet photos and everyone goes in and votes for their favorite pet, and everyone pays maybe $10 to put their pet into the contest, and you know, whoever wins gets all that money donated to their relay page or something. I don't know.
And John, I don't want to give you an idea, but they used to steal my dinosaur every year, the fire department.
Yes.
And then finally I had Christy arrested the 1 year right there.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Your pet to a meeting, they'd have to do all their work or do something to bring their pet to a meeting. So we could do that. You bring $10 and you bring your pet to our meetings.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely. I think something around pets, I think, would go really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right then. Well, if there's nothing else, then I'm gonna say we can probably end the call in this, and we will see everybody in a month. Unless you need us before then, please don't hesitate to reach out, because we're here to help you out and help each other and see what we can get going. So, and if you want to watch it again, once we get it posted, you can watch again. See what you look like on the computer. So, but thank you everybody for coming on tonight and joining and sharing your thoughts and everything.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Night.
Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.